Watching West Wednesday 641, Justice for Tyrone West and Justice for All Victims of Police Brutality. Tawanda, it's all you.
Thank you so much. Tonight, guys, we have a real special West Wednesday. Tonight, I have my warrior brother, my personal hero, Sonia Massey's dad, on tonight, and he'll be definitely giving us update. So if you guys stay tuned for the video that we play for you every week, we'll be right back in about 4 minutes. Mic check.
Mic check.
Can't stop, won't stop, till killer cops are in cell blocks. Can't stop.
The following video portrays an incident of assault and violence at the hands of police. Viewer discretion is advised.
I suggest you back the fuck up. No, why you
This is Baltimore City Police Officer Jorge Bernardes Ruiz. In a video shot in 2016, Ruiz is seen with his knee on the back of an unknown man with a gun pointed at the man's head. His message was a clear one. Concerned onlookers, adhere to my dictates or else. Here, we can hear Ruiz saying to Baltimore residents,
I suggest you back the fuck up.
It is documented that Baltimore police officer Jorge Bernardes Ruiz is a repeat violent offender, even without access to all complaints against Ruiz, undisclosed by BPD Internal Affairs records. 6 cases involving Ruiz are known. This video will briefly highlight 6 total cases beginning in July of 2013. Case 1, Abdul Salam, July 1st, 2013. Here Salam is seen victoriously smiling in celebration after the jury found Ruiz and 2 other cops liable for brutality against him. However, because the trial was civil, not criminal, Ruiz was not fired and he did not go to jail.
Police profiled me. They followed me in the back of my house, harassing me. Police proceeded to violently and hostilely approach my van with me and my son in it. As I announced, this was my home, guns drawn. Once they reached my vehicle, they violently pulled me out, ramshacked my vehicle with my 3-year-old son strapped in his car seat, threw me against the gate, slammed me repeatedly. Picked me up by my feet, and while I'm upside down, they proceeded to drop me on my head, hog-tie me, and immediately when I fell on my head, Ruiz, in a wrestling type of action, and kind of hit his knee against my neck. I was arrested. I had no idea what I was being arrested for. My son is scarred to this day. He remembers the incident as it happened yesterday. When he talks about it, he always refers to daddy being on the floor with police yesterday.
Case 2, Darrell Harris, profiled, as seen in this video, July 17th, 2013.
Yeah, Sid, what's wrong with it? Improper way with it. There's no such thing as an improper way.
You gonna tell me my job, bro?
I know the law.
Are you gonna tell me the law?
I know the law.
You gonna tell me the
I know the law. What's the problem? You giving me a ticket? You need my license registration?
Yeah, let me get it.
To profile, y'all use the seatbelt as a reason. Profile.
Do me a favor, take out your keys.
Yeah, you can record for what? Nah. I don't feel safe right now. Do you want me to step out the car? Do you want me to step out the car? I'll step out the car. Call the police, man. What do you call a supervisor? I'm about to do shit. This is getting uploaded to the internet right now. Yeah?
And we are 2 law-abiding citizens that we are getting targeted, and I don't know why.
Just 24 hours later, Bernardes Ruiz played a leading role in the police killing of unarmed Tyrone West. Case number 3, the murder of Tyrone West, July 18th, 2013.
My brother Tyrone West was brutally murdered on July the 18th, 2013.
In both of these cases, when you look at the pleadings and the harsh language of these officers that have been quoted to me by reliable witnesses, the N-word.
And Killer Ruiz and Killer Chapman and the rest of those 11 and 15 killers, including David Lewis, took something from my family that they could never give us again. And that was my brother Tyrone West, one unarmed man who was brutally murdered, beat to death in broad daylight.
All right, we're back. Oh,
Mic check.
Mic check. Mic check.
mic check.
Awesome. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. And as I explained to you from the very beginning, I have one of my biggest heroes here. To see this man fight for accountability for his beautiful daughter, Sonia Massey, that was brutally executed in her home. And as I uplifted her last week and I shared the guy, even though to me it should have been first degree murder, charges and things like that. But the fact that he is seeing accountability. I'm so honored about that. So no further ado, because I respect my brother's time, I'm going to hand it all the way over to him. And I just want to thank you tonight for joining us with your updates. Thank you. Mic check.
Thank you, Tawanda. I am so proud and honored to be with you and your coalition tonight to give you my update after the trial. We did make history. I understand that we have never
Yes.
had a police officer convicted of murder of an unarmed Black woman in the United States. He was convicted of second-degree murder, so he is a murderer nonetheless. We thought that Sangamon County State's Attorney John Milhiser did an excellent job, and his first assistant, Mary Beth Rogers. As we sat there in the trial and went through this all over again, and we watched the video probably 2 or 3 times, and this was the first time I watched it in its entirety. When you get to a certain level, once the killer had turned his body camera on, and he called my daughter such a derogatory name that I could not stand to watch it any further the first time I watched it. But when I was in court last week, we had to sit and watch it. And I wanted to watch the jurors as they saw it and as we saw it. In the situation that most people across the world saw it, they blocked out my daughter's face. But in the courtroom, it was the complete unredacted body camera footage. We saw the blood oozing out of her head, and we saw the inhumanity of her killer telling his partner that, no, it's a headshot. Don't waste your medical supplies on her. And Attorney Milhiser completed it in the court. He didn't say this on thing. He said, she's dead. Just let her die. That's what he wanted to say. But he didn't say the word die. And he got on the witness stand and he lied. He surprised us all by taking the witness stand, because in most murder cases, the accused doesn't do that. But I think he had no alternative but to do it, to try to bring some semblance of reasonableness to his unreasonable behavior. My daughter was totally unarmed. People know that. She had poured the water into the sink at the officer's request. And after he told her he would shoot her in the effing face, she had the oven mitts on her hands. She had her hands up. She picked up the pot to try, I guess, to ward off the bullets. as he was shooting
Oh
3
my
times.
God.
Then I found out in the court that this guy had a laser sight on his gun. And it was interesting. All of the deputies I was around during the trial, none of them had laser sights on their guns. This idiot had a laser sight on his gun. And he shot at my daughter 3 times, but he only hit her once. But of course, we know that wasn't good enough to kill her. It was probably the hardest thing I ever had to endure in my life, to see him sit there and lie like he did. I mean, just outright lie and say that my daughter was the aggressor. But anybody who looked at that film know that Sonia was never the aggressor. Even his partner got on the witness stand and testified that he was not scared of Sonia. He was scared of the killer, the former Deputy Sean Grayson. Not only was he afraid of the killer, he was afraid of the fraternal order of police, because he had crossed the thin blue line in order to testify against another officer. And he said the reason his motivation was to do it so that we could have some semblance of justice for what had occurred that night. It hurts my heart to know that within 11 days after my daughter's death, he was indicted, fired, locked up. And they indicted him, they fired him, they locked him up, and then they didn't give him any bail. He wanted to get out. I think I was back in Springfield at least on 4 occasions. He went all the way to the Illinois Supreme Court in an attempt to be released from jail before the trial started October 20th. But thank God they kept him in there. But now with the second-degree murder conviction, he can be sentenced from anywhere to probation and time served, or up to a maximum of 20 years. We're all hoping that he receives the maximum, because what he did shocked the conscience of the court. Just as many of these killings by these killer cops and killer deputies, killer law enforcement individuals. One day, I hope and pray that they stop killing our unarmed people. Tawana, I think I've talked enough.
I'm like blown for all the details that you're giving us. Like, that is so disgusting and heartbreaking. Like, just for me seeing like the video that they let us see, and that was horrible enough. So I couldn't imagine you watching it. Like, I'm so sorry you had to go through that. I'm sorry that you're going through this. Like, and I pray to God that he gets 20 plus. Like, it's no way. And then the fact that his officer, his partner, stepped up to say, "Hey, you know what? This not right." I got mad love for him, because that wasn't right. And that's what I call being a good officer. If you see something wrong that sets in your soul and you step against that cold blue and you say, "This is not right. I want to see this family get justice." And I'm praying for that officer. I'm praying for that officer, because I
And
know that the
we
way
need to,
these
because I'm telling
killer
you, he
cops
is a wreck.
operate, it's horrible.
He's a wreck. He is so afraid that the fraternal order of police are
Oh
going to
my
get him.
God.
If and when he goes back to work and he calls out for backup, he's afraid that they're not going to show up.
Oh my
And
God.
as he said from the witness stand, he was afraid of the killer too.
Wow. That's awful. That's awful. And I'm praying too. Like, I'm really praying for this officer. Now, that's what you call a good officer. They want to talk about all these officer friendlies and all that. This is what I call a good officer that risked his all, because he could have literally easily lied, but what he saw probably traumatized him for the rest of his life, seeing your beautiful innocent daughter get killed. And the way they kill us as if it's a sport, it doesn't mean anything to them. It's like, I got my infrared dot on, I just want to just take somebody's life in a horrible way. And the way he was like, he already knew what he was going to do, because he said what he was going to do when he came there. Don't make me shoot your effing head off. He already said it. And the
Well,
fact, another thing that really bothered me was the fact that I feel like her trial, and everybody felt like this, your daughter trial deserved, right, for the whole world to watch it. They let us see her get assassinated on the screen, but yet they wouldn't let us watch the court trial. We should have been able, everybody, the same way everybody was able to tune into the Diddy trial, everybody should have been able to tune into your baby's trial. Everyone.
yeah,
Like, I really feel some type of way about
I
that.
fought for that, Tawanda, but the judge ruled against it. We had the change of venue, and he attempted to have the judge removed too. They attempted
Why,
to
are you kidding me?
they attempted
Wow.
to have another to move the trial from Peoria. They'd already got the change of venue from Springfield to Peoria, but they were saying that we had poisoned the jury pool in Peoria because I spoke there, I think on June 20th, and her cousin spoke there, who was a member of the Massey Commission out of Springfield, the 2 weeks earlier than I did. And because we spoke there in Peoria County, they attempted to have the trial moved again.
That's terrible. Disgusting.
To try to get to a
Wow.
county where
Well,
they had more white people. We had a jury of
exactly.
11 whites and 1 black. And the jury was out for a couple of days. It was scary. It was really, really scary. I
Wow.
really thought we might wind up with a hung jury and we'd have to go through this whole thing a second time. And I really did not
Oh,
want to.
God. Wow. Like you said, your daughter case made history. What you did, my brother, made history, because I remember seeing you literally traveling. Like, every time they was trying to pull this funky stuff, you were on the move. Like, nah, not my baby. No, we not doing this. And I love that for you. I love that for us, because when you do stuff like that for your baby, not only you're doing it for her, you're doing it for all the victims of police brutality and murder. So I just commend you. I commend you. I commend you. My head goes off to you. And I see a lot of questions and comments. Could we share the questions and comments just for my brother's time's sake, please? Mic check.
Mic check. First off, we have Adina commenting mic check. Bill commented, as always, very glad to be here for the very important fight against police brutality. A big welcome to our guest this evening with us. Malcolm Pullian commented, I'm glad you got a conviction. Hopefully we can get an arrest for our situation in Pennsylvania. Rest in peace, Sister Massey. Adina commented, so sorry you had to watch that, but it was good to see the jury's pure reaction. So sorry you had to see that though. How callous and cold-blooded that animal was. Malcolm commented, wow, coward cop, he will get his in the end. Angela commented, kudos to the other officer for testifying. Adina commented, I hope the judge is reasonable at sentencing and not a cover-up artist. Malcolm commented, he deserves the max. I'm appalled at the possibility of a light sentence. Adina commented, he probably wanted to pick his own cop-loving judge, just like Freddie Gray's cops did. Bruce Emmerling commented, mic check. Malcolm commented, stay strong, brother. We behind you and your family all the way. Adina commented, this is definitely groundbreaking. And Bruce commented, so terrible, so sorry. Mic check.
Yeah,
I
mic
think
check.
the most
And
horrible is that even when things are on film, and we have film, you still don't get complete justice. You get partial justice when it comes to us. I hope at some that I am able to be with all of the impacted families across the country. If you need somebody that can help you fight the system, I want to be able to come out and be with people. But I hope that, like the state of Illinois has passed the Sonia Massey bill, that bill needs to be universal. It needs to go to all 49 other states. This frequent flyer cops who go from one police department to the next police department, the horror of this was he had been in 6 police departments in 3.5 years. But now, when an officer is fired from any police department or any sheriff's department or any manner of law enforcement, his certification needs to be taken. There's a reason why they fired him. And then cities, municipalities, and counties, they shouldn't worry about the repercussions of having a wrongful termination. They give them the opportunity, say, we're going to fire you in 5 minutes. Now, what you can do is you can resign and we'll be done with you. But they move on to the next department or to the next sheriff's department. They're frequent flyers is what they call them here in Arkansas. But I thank God that here in Jefferson County, where I live, Pulaski County, when they fire somebody down here, they take their certification so that they can't go to another department and get a job with another department once they're fired from a department here. But it needs to be the law everywhere. That way, no family will have to go through what we have gone through, what all of the impacted families have gone through. I just hope that we can be able to do that at some point.
Absolutely. And I just want, like I said, thank you for your time. Thank you for popping in and sharing that wonderful news, even though it's still heartbreaking because we still got to fight like hell. And, I definitely want to keep, we definitely going to keep in touch. You know how we roll. So we're going to keep in touch. And I want that update ASAP as soon as and when is the sentencing?
January 29th. It's going to be in Springfield. So we will know. I have called for the maximum sentence, as many of your viewers have said. This guy deserves the max. There are people in Illinois who, for attempted murder, have gotten more than the 20 years. The law needs to be changed in Illinois. Another law. There is such a disparity between first-degree and second-degree murder that gap needs to be closed. That gap needs to be brought to it needs to be shrunk down to a level that's reasonable. There should have been an aggravated murder statute where if you had to go with a compromise verdict, there should have been something longer than a 20-year sentence for this killer.
That part. But yet, in my city, I just saw a teenager that killed his classmate in the bathroom get 80 years. But you never see killer cops get 80 years. Like, this is like, he deserves 80 years. Plus. Disgusting. It's disgusting. And I don't know if you heard about a case where it was a young man killed by his parole officer, literally followed this man to his house. It's not even his house, to his girlfriend's house, and blew him away. And my brother Malcolm has been fighting like hell, uplifting his name and making sure that this family gets accountability because it was one of his friends. It's disgusting. So I see that we have more questions and comments. Can somebody read the question comments before I let my brother go? Because he has another meeting and I want him not to be out of breath and things like that. Next event. Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check. The next questions and comments are from Malcolm. The name is Marcello. He said, we have Marcello on film and we still haven't gotten arrested. Adina responded yes to what you said about the call for a universal law against killer cops. Malcolm also said, T, you need to put me in contact with him. referring to Sonia Massey's father. Hillary commented, "Much respect. Hoping you and your family are able to present strong impact statements. Please let us know if we can be supportive in any way. Would love to support the Sonia Massey bill all over the country. Thank you for your work." Bill commented, "I especially respect your comment that you'd like to help if any family needs someone to help fight the system. I too am dedicated to eventually winning a new system without racism and without killer cops." Mic check.
Mic check. Again, oh, absolutely. Yes. And just for the question comment, thanks everybody for the feedback. And my brother Malcolm, I'm definitely going to connect y'all. And I plan, a matter of fact, what I want to do for another show coming up soon, I want to have you two guys come on together again because we need to work together because we're stronger together. So definitely big shout out. Thanks. And I want to ask, did anybody on here wanted to say anything to our brother James? Mic check.
Mic check.
Yes, this is Bill. Tawana calls me Uncle Bill, and I just want to thank you for being with us this evening. It's inspiring to hear your dedication in this struggle, and we're sure you're going to keep it up, and we're going to do our best here too.
I thank you so much for the opportunity to share on West Wednesdays. I look forward to the day when this kind of broadcast is no longer, we no longer have to do this. At some point, they have to stop killing our unarmed people, Black people, poor whites, brown people. We are all in the same boat when it comes to these killer cops. They have to be held accountable. And I think that if it's the last thing I do, the last thing that will ever come out of me, I will stand 10 toes down for all these impacted families. And I thank you so much for the opportunity.
Absolutely. No, and I thank you, my brother, and we'll be in contact. So you go ahead and get prepared because you got like a half hour before your next commitment. And I thank you, and I will definitely be in contact with you. And like I said, I'm gonna plan an upcoming one where you and my brother Malcolm, I could just dedicate a whole show to both of you guys together, and we can definitely do this. But thank you, and I'm also looking forward to when you come to Baltimore because we got to hang out again. We definitely got to hang out again. So, mic check.
Definitely, definitely.
Awesome. Well,
Thank
thank
you so
you,
much.
and I'll be in contact. Thank
Okay,
you.
anytime.
All right. All right. Appreciate you. Thank you. All right, guys. So if you missed, we just had my brother on here. Sonia Massey's dad. And it's just sad that I'm gonna slide back because I'm on here by myself, but it's just a lot going on. And for him to go through that, like just imagine your daughter being murdered and you hear the horrible things and you see the horrible stuff that he had to see. Like it was heartbreaking to me when my cousin Tavon Anderson was murdered and we went into the courtroom and they had to play video and they didn't even play, like they hold what they want to hold back and play what they want to play. But even the little pieces of video, that's why I thank God for the West Coalition and my family. They stood in the gaps because I couldn't take that. Like they're like, you know what, Tawanda, they're gonna be playing the videos in the morning. Won't you come to court in the afternoon? Because I couldn't take that. Like it's way too much. So with that being said, it's a lot going on right now. In the midst of my own, I don't know if I'm still on here because my screen just went black, guys. Give me a minute.
We can hear you, Tawana.
Mic check. Can y'all hear me?
Mic check. Yeah, we can hear you and we can see you.
All right, I'm gonna turn off my video because it's trying to play with me now. But let me see something. All right, can y'all hear me now better?
Loud and clear.
Mic check. All right, cool. So yeah, so what I was trying to say was right now, my family, we're planning um another funeral because my cousin was murdered, last week. And I told you guys that, I was going through something. Like last week was one of the hardest last weekend, but my cousin did not deserve to be murdered. He was a good kid, and a football player, like everything. He had his whole life ahead of him. And the way the media, and I'm glad I got my camera off because I'm kind of breaking down, and I apologize. But it just hurts me the way that the media does things, because it's sad that, like, for a child to get shot and hurt in any way. And I know it's just like, oh my God. And that is horrible that when my cousin was murdered, a 7-year-old child actually got shot too in a crossfire. But the way that the media says, oh wow, the young, and they didn't even refer to the baby, which to me, a 7-year-old is a baby, because I work with 5 and 6-year-olds. They are babies. They are babies. They're not a young man, not a young lady. They are babies. So it was said that a baby had to be struck in the crossfire, but they just was like, made it so like the baby was just an innocent victim. No heart or regards to my family, no heart or regards to anyone. My cousin was an innocent victim as well. Like, we're still trying to figure out what's going on and standing in the gaps. And now I have to take off Friday. And then unfortunately, I won't even get paid for. So it's a day that I won't even get paid for at work, because now the way they make the laws, like when you take off, you don't even get grieving days. So that's just like your upfront personal family, which is crazy. But it's still my family. This is my little cousin, y'all. But it don't matter. I don't have to get paid. God is going to find a way, like he always do. But I will be at my cousin's funeral. But it's just sad that while I'm going through fighting for accountability, like how waiting for my brother's case to be reopened, because they found out that my brother's case was worthy of being reopened, which it should have never been closed. And these killer cops should have been in the cell blocks since 2013. Here it is, 641 weeks later. I'm still fighting for accountability for these killer cops. And I don't care how long it takes. And every time I come on West Wednesday and I play the first killer cop, Ruiz, and I talk about these killer cops, I have a target on my back. They target me, they harass me, they show up, they cut my tires, they do all type of stuff, like literally all type of foolishness. And literally it's crazy. Like, I go this week, my tire money that I don't have, like I got that flat and I'm thinking, oh, it's just a regular flat. But when I go to get my tire took off, they're like, oh my goodness, you got two darn nails banged in both sides directly across from each other. And they target my friend car a week before they got my car. They had the same thing happen to her. So I know it was a target attack and I'm sick of it. But this is what you go through. Like, people always want to like talk about people that fight peacefully for police brutality. This is the backlash that you go through. Like, literally, I had to actually leave a whole job that I worked at before this school for 19 years, that I worked at, because my personal life came there. Not that I did anything wrong or whatever, because none of my parents knew that I was even an activist. Like, a lot of them still don't know that I'm an activist now. But when they hear about it, they're proud of me. But just because when it's like when you fight this system, you will catch backlash. You will get retaliated on. And that's why I'm so proud of Sonia's Massey dad. That's why I'm proud of even the officer that literally put his whole self on the line. And I'll introduce you guys to Officer. Never forget Officer Steve, which he died and now he's gone or whatever the case. But Steve, and we called him the Music Man. He was a police officer that got blackballed because he started telling about how they was making racist slurs against him when he touched, like, when he go switch patrol cars. They're like making stuff, oh, you didn't leave no greasy chicken on the stern. We're like making racist comments. So the backlash and the retaliation is real, guys. So I just wanted to share that. So I just wanted to say, please keep Sonia's Massey's dad, family, and everybody involved that's on the right side of the law in prayers and in thoughts, please, because this is real, guys. This is real. And please even keep my family into prayers, because the hardest thing, and I knew that when my friend well, my brother, because we all a family in this, but when my brother was telling me, my brother Brian was telling me about our community violence list and how many names, and I'm like, oh my God, my cousin Tyree, his name is on the sad list, and that broke my heart because it's my own family. Like, and I tell y'all, we always like when we read, when I read the statement, the mission statement, and I'm like, we don't know nothing involved about the stuff and this, that, and the third, and it could be traumatized. You never know if you know the person. It hurts like hell when I hear any name, but when you hear your family member name on there, the pain hits. It's a different type of pain, and nobody family deserves to be murdered. Whether it was by law enforcement officers, whether it was by community violence, we are here, and guess what? These are our problems. The system is so dirty. They try to make it seem like police brutality is over here, community violence is over here. Well, guess what, baby? They lied to y'all. They lied to us. There is no justice. It's just us trying to hold folks accountable, and they keep making it seem these are isolated incidents when I call it the highway of hell because it's connected to this system that is dirty, that does not care about us. It's sad, it's disgusting, and it's real. But no matter how real it is, I'm going to keep fighting for accountability. I'm going to keep being respectful, peacefully, and I'm going to keep doing it. And the truth is coming out as we get closer, like y'all, this weekend, real quick before we go to like the sad list, and because we got a sad list that we got to do for police brutality and the community violence list. But I wanted to say real quickly, if you haven't gotten your tickets already, but this weekend on Friday, the premiere that I was telling you about, the short film that I'm going to be in, is going to be showing at the film festival this weekend, guys. Friday at 4 p.m. And it's gonna also, and I'm gonna be there on Sunday. It's gonna be showing Sunday at 11 o'clock in the morning, Parkway. So make sure you get your tickets. And it's called the Blue, or Breaking Down the Blue Wall, Breaking Down the Blue Wall. And it's Senator Jill. Well, she's not a senator anymore, but to me, I'm gonna always look at her and always call her Senator Jill Carter, because she fought hard and did lots of things to change these racist laws. She's going to be there with me on Sunday, prayerfully, if everything goes right on her side. And then guess what, guys? More news next weekend on Saturday, guys, and I'm going to share the link tonight. I promise y'all can get y'all tickets, because remember I told y'all the beautiful, amazing documentary, the second one, is also going to be playing next weekend at Parkway, and it's called The Beat Goes On Baltimore. The Beat Goes On. It's Baltimore Beat. The Beat Goes On. It's the documentary about Baltimore, and they featured again me and my brother's story. So they know, everybody know I'm out here fighting, and I'm not gonna stop until these killer cops are in cell blocks. So when I share the link, please make sure you get the tickets for the two different documentaries, y'all. One, Breaking Down the Blue Wall. That's going to be this weekend, and the next weekend, The Beat Goes On Baltimore. I was going to say Baltimore Block. Oh my goodness, The Beat Goes On Baltimore Beat. The Beat Goes On. So with that being said, I got it all out my system. So I'm gonna do a quick mic check, and we can read the questions and comments, and followed by that, we can come back and go into our sad list. Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Yes, there were a few more comments we weren't able to get to before Mr. James left.
Okay.
But Malcolm commented, yes, to keeping in touch. Let me know when. Maine commented, mic check. And Back Alley TV commented, you did it good, brother. And then, of course, we have the links to get the tickets for both documentaries coming up in these next couple of weeks. Mic check.
Mic check. Awesome. Well, I'm glad y'all found the new one, and I didn't get to share it with y'all. Thank y'all so much. I love you guys. Thank y'all. And thank y'all for tuning in. Thank everybody for the love, the mic checks. Thank you, Maine. Thank you, Back Alley. Thank you. Back Alley does some lot of beautiful, amazing pictures and stuff like that, graphic art designs, and I love it. Like every week he's doing something amazing behind the scenes. So I just wanted to shout out to him. Shout out to Malcolm. I'm definitely gonna keep you posting. Just shout out to everybody. So with that being said, I'm not gonna read our disclosure. I'm just going to kind of freestyle it the best way I know how. And we're going to get ready. And after that, we're going to take a minute and then we're going to go straight into both of the sad list tonight. And yes, it's really hard because, like I said, my little cousin that should be here is on that sad list. And not just my little cousin, it's other people, loved ones that should be here. They should be here and not on a list, you know. So it is the mission of the West Coalition to not only fight for accountability for my big brother Tyrone West, but literally for all the victims of police brutality and murder. We pretty much believe in mediation because we believe that if somebody is like arguing or not seeing eye to eye on things, if you sat down together and you could talk about it, at the end of the day, both parties walk away and no one is hurt. And we believe in just peace and love, you know, even though we come from different backgrounds, like some of us on here are communists, and that's some of us, that's not me. You know, some of us are Christians, that's me, and that's not some of my other brothers and sisters as we fight together just to hold up accountability. Some of us believe in God, some don't. You know, as for me, I believe in God, but we all believe that this system is dirty and rotten to the core. And we believe that if we don't get rid of this system, nothing's going to change. Like, to me, we need to knock it down and build it back up. We need to get these laws changed. There's like so much going on, and it's just sad. Like, at the end of the day, we get our list from local news outlets, you know, for us for the police brutality list on a national level, and then we get the local information from the local media. But at the end of the day, we don't get any direct details about what happened or who's involved. So if we offend anybody, we're not trying to do that. We're just coming from a place of respect and care. Because at the end of the day, like I said, no one deserves to be brutally murdered, harmed, or hurt. That's just my opinion. That probably ain't everybody in the West Coalition. But again, we all do believe in love. We definitely believe in love. So with that being said, the time now is 7:46. We're going to come back at 7:48. We're going to take 2 minutes. 7:48, we'll be back and we'll start the sad list. Mic check.
Mic check.
All right, guys. I know it hasn't quite been like 2 minutes because I didn't quite start at exactly 7:46. It was turning 7:47. But however, 2 minutes is not even enough, and not even 1 minute. But just for time's sake, just respecting you guys' schedule, because I know, you know, it's a Wednesday night. People have their families, you know, and things like that, and things that they need to do. So right now, we're gonna start up. And I thank you guys. And I'm going to hand it over to my brother Brian. Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Okay. Thank you, Twanda. So the list that we read these names from, frequently we get like a date and a time, but no name. You know, possibly a location. And then, like in later weeks, the names will pop up. And so this week we have two names that are from the last weeks of last month, the 25th and the 23rd, that we're just getting names for now. And there are 2 new victims that we don't have names for, so we'll keep an eye out for those names to come up. But again, whether we ever get their names or not, we need to just, remember and be aware that, each of these people is a whole world. Each of these people had a huge internal life. They loved and they cared about things, and they had pain and they had joy. And most of all, they had family and friends and coworkers and many people who were strangers to them, who they interacted with, who they helped or changed in one way or another. And so we lift their names up, so for the sake of for their own sakes, but also for the sakes of their communities. And that community includes us, and we lift them up to remind us of why we're here doing this work. And so in that spirit, I just ask you to echo the names back to me of these 2 fallen people. Eugene Henry, age 42.
Eugene Henry.
Tyree Brooks, age 22.
Tyree Brooks.
Tyree Brooks, age 22.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Tawanda, are you ready for us to go on with the other list? Okay. So we'll go on with the other list again. Let's remember that all of these names that we are about to read have families and loved ones who are missing them and thinking of them. Again, it's going to be from the last couple of weeks of October. This is the national list that we get of people who were killed by the police across this country. We have 34 names tonight, and we want to be thinking of their families and the ones who love them and who are missing them. And we're averaging 3 to 4 a day in this country, and that is not okay. And we want to lift up their families and remind the police that this is not okay. So we're starting with the 16th of October. And if you could repeat the name back to me. So on the 16th of October in Watoma, Wisconsin, 51-year-old male, Timothy Lehman.
Timothy Lehman.
On the 17th of October in St. Charles, Missouri, 34-year-old male, Frankie Navarro.
Frankie Navarro.
On the 18th of October in Avondale, Arizona, 19-year-old male, Christian Rosas.
Christian Rosas.
Christian Rosas.
On the 19th of October in Nesbitt, Mississippi, 18-year-old male, Riley Westmoreland.
Westmoreland.
On the 20th in Parker, Colorado, a male whose age is unknown and whose name was withheld by the police.
Cell blocks for killer cops.
Ashe. On the 20th of October in Goleta, California, a male whose age is unknown and again, whose name was withheld by the police.
Cell blocks
for
killer cops.
Ashe.
Ashe.
On October 21st in Mount Clair, West Virginia, a male whose age is unknown, but whose name is Tyrell White.
Tyrell White.
Tyrell White.
On October 21st, 2025, in Jersey City, New Jersey, 27-year-old male, John Rogers.
John Rogers.
John
On,
Rogers.
thank you. On October 21st, in Marietta, Georgia, 47-year-old male, Timothy Sheets.
Timothy
Sheets.
Sheets.
On October 22nd, in Findlay, Ohio, 90-year-old male, Robert Norton.
Robert
Norton.
Robert
Robert
Norton.
Norton.
Horrible.
On October 22nd, in Rosemead, California, a male whose age is unknown and whose name was withheld by the police.
Ashe.
And now I will pass the list on to Kalia.
Continuing on the 22nd of October, in Tucson, Arizona, 31-year-old male, Nathan Peru.
Nathan Peru.
Nathan Peru.
Moving on to the 23rd of October, in Temple, Texas, 48-year-old male, Michael Bischoff.
Michael Bischoff.
Also on the 23rd, in Charlotte, North Carolina, 28-year-old male, Joseph Andrade.
Joseph Andrade.
Joseph Andrade.
Andre.
On the 24th of October, in Atkins, Arkansas, 49-year-old female, Andrea Thompson.
Andrea Thompson.
On the 25th of October, in Fairfield, Texas, we have a male whose age and name are both withheld by the police.
Cell blocks for killer cops.
Ashe.
Also on the 25th, in Ackworth, Georgia, again, a male whose name and age were withheld by the police.
Cell blocks for
killer cops. Ashe.
On the 26th of October, in Fort Atkinson, Wisconsin, again, a male whose age and name were withheld by the police.
Cell blocks for killer cops. Ashe.
In Chillicothe, Ohio, on the 26th as well, a 58-year-old male, Brian Rothy.
Brian
Robbie.
On the 26th, in Haines City, Florida, 24-year-old male, Louis Van Seuss. On the 27th of October, in Belgrade, I'm not sure about this abbreviation.
I think Montana.
Montana, yeah.
Thank you. 37-year-old male, Devin Shorn.
Devin
Shorn.
Also on the 27th, in West Point, Missouri, a male whose age and name were withheld by the police.
Cell blocks for killer cops. Ashe.
And I'll pass the remainder of the list to Bill. Mic check.
Mic check. Thank
Kalia,
you.
the last person you honored was from West Point?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So next, in Louisville, Kentucky, on the 27th, 20 years old, killed by police, Frank Aguiar.
Frank
Aguiar.
In Wrightsville, Georgia, on the 27th, 32 years old, Diamond Seltzer.
Diamond Seltzer.
In Denver, Colorado, on the 27th, we don't know the gender or the age, and the police have withheld the name.
Cell blocks for killer cops. Ashe.
In San Jose, California, on the 27th, again, we do know it was a man, name withheld by police.
Cell blocks.
Cell blocks for killer cops.
Ashe.
Ashe.
In Salt Lake, Utah, on the 29th, a man whose age is not known and whose name is withheld by the police.
Cell blocks for killer cops. Ashe.
Ashe. In Mesa, Arizona, on the 29th, a man, again, whose age we do not know, whose name is withheld by the police.
Cell blocks for killer cops.
Ashe.
Ashe. In Birmingham, Alabama, on the 29th, a woman, 36 years old, Vanessa Ragland.
Vanessa Ragland.
Vanessa Ragland.
In Seattle, Washington, on the 30th, a man whose age is unknown and whose name has been withheld by the police.
Cell blocks for killer cops.
Ashe.
Ashe.
And next we come to, all of this is very tragic, but this is particularly tragic. We all recollect, I'm sure, the killing of Tamir Rice, who was 12 years old and had a toy plastic gun, and a cop got out of his car and shot and killed Tamir within seconds. And I don't know the circumstances in this case, but the victim is 13 years old in Rayford, North Carolina, on the 30th. And we have he's a male. We just don't have his name. We have his initials, J.A.
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 In Macon, Georgia, on the 30th, a 28-year-old man, Zachary Ward.
Zachary
Ward.
In Atascocita, Texas, on the 31st, a 27-year-old man, Darius Williams.
Darius Williams.
And the 34th victim in this 2-week stretch, the final victim we'll be upholding this evening, was from Santa Rosa Beach, Florida, on the 31st. We don't know that it's a man. We don't know the age. And his name has been withheld by, I think it's okay to say, the pigs.
Yeah, cell blocks for killer cops.
Ashe.
Ashe. So that wraps up our honoring of all those recently killed by the cops around the country. Back to you, Tawanda.
Thank you. So I just want to, just for 1 second, take a moment just to breathe, because it's a lot. That was a lot to unpack, for any and all of our mental, that was just a lot. Hearing Sonia Massey's dad, Mr. James, talk about the brutal unaliving, if we must say it, so that way we won't get flagged, but of his daughter. It's disgusting and devastating. And literally within, you talking about a 2-week stretch, 34 victims, just gone for no reason. And it bothers me when I hear the youngest victim, from my understanding, was a 13-year-old, and the eldest victim was a 90-year-old. Where in America does a 13-year-old and a 90-year-old pose a threat to armed, and let's be crystal clear, armed men and women? It is disgusting. Enough is enough. We can sit back and we can keep on, playing and pretending like something's not right with this, like it's okay that this system is doing what it does and that's just wiping us out, but it's not okay. It is not okay. That is I'm so devastated right now. I'm heartbroken. I have a array of emotions. Literally working a hard day with beautiful babies that bring me joy, and literally just to know that these babies are not safe in this world that we live in. It breaks my heart to look at innocent eyes every day, and you see the innocence of a child that just want to be loved, a child that does not know that, oh, I don't like black people. I don't like white people or Latino people. Just a child loving and just playing and bonding and just seeing that every day, the safeness of being in the classroom until it becomes unsafe. To some maniac wants to come in and does something to a school. It's just the world we live in. It's just, oh my goodness, it's just way too much. But this is the time that we should never ever step away from love, never ever step away from unity. Love and unity is all we have. And even in trying times, never lose yourself in what's going on. It's easy to walk away from being good and be a part of the problem. That's easy. That's real easy. It's so hard to remain humble, to remain calm, to remain civil, to remain knowing that we need humanity, right? We need it. We need it, y'all. So just remember, live to love, love to live. I love you all, and I hope I see you this weekend at the film fest. I hope I see you next weekend. I just hope that we actually get to see another day with the way that the world is just like revolving. So every day I open up my eyes and my family members open up their eyes. That is a pure reason to give thanks. And for me, it's thanks to God. But again, live to love, love to live. I love you all. And thank you, Mr. James, even though I know he's gone to next. Meeting that was very important, but I thank him for his time. Thank you, Rachel, for being here in the gaps. Thank you, the whole entire West Coalition. Thank y'all all so much. Thank you, Kalia, for taking the time, reading the questions or the comments. Thank you, Hillary. Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Brian. Just thank all of you guys. I can't thank you enough. Like, I wish that it was more than I could do, but thank you guys. Live to love to live. We're more than hashtags and body bags. We're more than being 6 feet in the dirt and pictures and buttons on t-shirts. Our lives may not matter to the ones that are snatching it, but it matters to the families that you leave behind. Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
And Mr. West begging for his life. And Mr. Salam begging for his child to be excluded and comforted from what was taking place. Not for himself, but for his 3-year-old child.
Case number 4, Adina Britt and family, September 10th, 2015.
My name is Adina Britt, and I wanted to submit a 30-second testimonial that Jorge Omar Bernardez Ruiz is one of the 11 terrorists that came into my house performing a home invasion in September 2015, terrorizing my entire family and even holding my 12-year-old son at gunpoint. He needs to be stopped.
Case number 5, unidentified arrestee, assaulted in 2016.
I suggest you back the fuck up. No, why would you do that? Why would you do that?
Again, this video did not surface until the summer of 2020. Case 6, Thomas McCullough, May 2016 and February 2017.
I heard my front door coming off the hinges like it exploded.
Thomas McCullough says it happened twice. In May 2016 and February 2017, Baltimore City Police burst through his green front door and raided his Pimlico home.
They said police. They come up, shotguns, guns.
He says officers ransacked the place, looking for drugs, money, and weapons. He took pictures of the damage he says they left behind.
Tell us where the drugs are, the scales, the guns, and the large amounts of money.
Nothing was found. Now he's suing police, claiming officers, including a former member of the Gun Trace Task Force, frightened him, his wife, and father-in-law when the officers conducted what his suit calls an illegal search of his home. The owner of the house tells 11 News after the second raid, he had to replace the front door. McCullough and his attorney say they want Baltimore police held accountable.
There is a colossal breach of trust.
And McCullough tells us following both raids, no one was arrested or charged.
This all begs the question, When will Baltimore City State's Attorney see the prosecution of Bernardez Ruiz as warranted?
They were the stopping officers in these so-called jump-out cars, unmarked and so forth, that stopped both the West vehicle and the Salam vehicle without probable cause. And these officers are the ones that also were joined by others, but they are the ones who initiated the stops, pulled both men out of the vehicles, and commenced the vicious activity that was thrust upon them.
And the officer Ruiz that started this attack is still working and working with promotions. He is now sergeant. But the fact that this repeat violent offender had a history leading up to my brother. There was Darrell Harris, there was James Green, Joseph Green, Abdul Salam. No one family deserves to be brutally murdered or brutalized by this repeat violent offender Ruiz. It is time we take action. The time is now.
Baltimore police officer Jorge Bernardez Ruiz is a repeat violent offender. Based on these accounts, in accordance with the law, we, the West Coalition, call for him to be fired, prosecuted, and incarcerated.
We're more than hashtags and body bags. We're more than being 6 feet in the dirt and pictures and buttons on t-shirts. Our lives matter.
For the safety of our city, the prevention of further harm, and the justice for these families, we see no other option.
And again, I'll say, the time is now.